estas? Cremvase azantes. Welcome, video lovers. Welcome to Tac Nerd 1.0. Children, I have for you today, this is the SCT SC subcompact frame. This is from St. Croix Tactical. And this is my range review and basically final thoughts on this workup here, this clone. So as you may or may not know, this is basically clone of the Glock 48. Now, if you put a 43, which is like so, if you put a 43 or a 43X slide on this, this would be that'd be a clone of the 43X. But constructed this a while back. There was some sales going on. Can't remember what holiday it was, and I ended up putting this together. It was actually quite cheap. It was under 300 quatlus, but just general features of this. This is the barrel is from Faxon. The slide was from Brownells. YouTube reviewer, keep in mind, none of this is for sale. We don't do any sales here. This is for educational purposes only. Like I said, I put this all together and finally was able to get out to the range the other day. So we're going to show you a little bit of range footage that we had of this, and then we'll come back and again I will give you my final thoughts on this setup and if I feel it's worth your time and money to put this together. All right, so let's go look at that beautiful bean footage and we will be back. So, editing Tac Nerd here, I wanted to point out the recoil with this was actually quite low. I didn't really feel that much recoil. Score on that one was 86. And that's it's quite odd because with being such a light pistol and small pistol, you would think there would be quite a bit more. But as you can see here, I think it's at least on par with the Glock 19, if not smaller. Very, very little recoil there. 88 on that one. Okay, we are back. So, as you could see, really no problems at all we had with the pistol. Shot fine, shot quite good, actually. I thought the trigger was nice. I especially really liked, of course, these are my favorites. You all know that. These are the Ameriglow protectors. This is this very, very bright, large front sight and these blacked out rears. It's blacked out U-notch rears. Very easy to pick up. That front sight glows like the sun. Trigger was fine. It's standard Glock trigger. I do have the 3.5 pound connector on it. Did bring the trigger feel down, and we tested this before, and I believe it was somewhere between 3.5 and 4 pounds. Couple things though that came out rather interesting with this pistol. First off, as I said, I did put the 3.5 pound connector on it. However, after that, I have been unable to get the slide off of it by normal means, by normal takedown means. Now, I have heard and I've seen the videos that Ghost does, and they said to bend the connector back and forth a bit. I have done that tons of times, and I still cannot get it right. I can't seem to get it in the right position. So if I'm unable to do that, I'm probably going to have to go back to the regular connector because I really can't have the pistol in that instance where I can't be taking it down. It's kind of a reliability and functioning thing. You can't clean it correctly that way. I'm not sure what that is. I have not had that issue with other Glocks. It's really just been with the smaller subcompact ones. 43 was that way. I ended up going back to stock. As far as magazines go, we mainly shot that day just with the Glock mag, just the standard Glock brand Glock mag. That worked great. No problems with that. Also did test out these ETS mags. I did not have footage of that, but believe it or not, these worked out okay. And everyone knows ETS not exactly something you'd want to trust your life to, but they do make great range mags. They're fine for that. Also did have one of these. This is the Shield Arms mags. I wish I could say I had success with this. However, it will not stay in my pistol. It won't lock in with the mag release. Maybe I need their mag release for it. That's a possibility. But the standard, well, this is actually an extended mag release. The extended mag release doesn't want to fit. So unfortunately, I could not test this one out. So, and I'm sure maybe it would work, but unfortunately, as I said, I could not test that one out. So barrel is great. The Faxon makes great stuff. Sights were great. The pistol shot fine, at least as far as my ability goes. As I said, I have not done IDPA in quite a few years. The accuracy was okay. I would say though, there's couple things that I don't care for. One is, I guess primarily is the issue with the 3.5-inch connector, or I'm sorry, 3.5-pound connector. I would like to be able to get that resolved. And again, I understand bending it back and forth. It's supposed to relieve that. But, you can only go so far with that. I don't know what the issue is with those, but I've had the problem with both subcompact frames, and I cannot seem to get it in the right sweet spot. And if that product if I can't get that product to work correctly, I just can't use it. So I probably will have to go back to that. Now, that's no fault of the frame, and I have a feeling it's something to do with the connector and the fact that these are subcompacts. Obviously, there's an issue there. But I do like the trigger pull the way it is now. I just can't I won't be able to keep it that way. The other problem is the general profile of the pistol, and why everyone likes these is because it has the same general profile as a Glock 19, but it's thinner, and so thus easier to carry. Well, I think that's probably true, and I did not find a whole lot of difference between firing this one and firing a Glock 19 or Glock 19 clone. Not too much difference there. So I would say if you could carry 15 rounds, if you could get one of these Shield Arms magazines to work and you could carry it in this, I think that would be a win. I have heard of people having issues with those. I don't know if that's true, but I can't say because I can't get mine to work. Other fatal flaw I think this frame has, and it's not necessarily a fault of SET, but this would generally be categorized as a carry pistol for concealed carry. The problem is that there's nearly no holsters available for this. I did search quite a bit. The only ones I could find were on Etsy, and they were ones that, basically small individual shops or people. Again, however, they're quite expensive, probably because they know they have the only holsters available. And so I don't really want to shell out that much cash for something I'm just really going to experiment with, and I don't know if I'm going to like carrying. I wish there was something else available. The SET 19 frame, that I also have one of those, that one does fit in a few Glock 19 holsters. This one, for example, this is my outlaw holster. I've showed that before. I believe the SET 19 frame fits some of the old Strike Industries frames, so you can still get some of those. However, Strike Industries never made a subcompact model, as far as I know, so there really is nothing else out there to fit this. And, like I said, except for boutique shops who are charging quite a bit of money because they're the only ones making one. So really, other than that, the only option you have would be would either make your own, or like something like this, some kind of universal holster, which I don't know anyone would want to use that. I think without some kind of major holster support, St. Croix would have to be making their own stuff. And maybe they do. I have not seen it. I did search as much as Google would tell me, but I really couldn't find any sort of mass-produced holster for this. Blade Tech didn't make anything. That's usually my go-to, and I couldn't find anything on Amazon or eBay or anything like that. Again, except for the boutique shops that are just rolling their own. It's kind of a rough thing, because when you make a carry pistol, if you don't have a holster for it, you can't really carry it. So this pistol is kind of just hanging around. I really, unless a Mexican carried it or something, but other than that, there's really no other option. So that's a pretty tough hump to get over for this. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with this. I'm probably just going to keep it, and actually might be a good pistol for my wife, maybe to purse carry. That would be a great option for her, since there's no holsters for it anyways. I guess if it were summertime, you could carry it in one of those fanny packs that the old dudes wear at fairs.
Ooh, and that fanny pack.
You could do something like that, or maybe you could get you one of them Lululemon bags that are so popular. You could carry it in one of them, I guess. I don't know. I'm not stylish. That's pretty much my reveal. Pistol functions fine, but for a carry pistol, it's just not that carryable. And that's probably because of secondary support in the market. There's just nothing out there. So I think if I were St. Croix, I would get with someone, who, some kind of supplier, even if they were small, and I would contract with them, get them to make them some holsters, sell them on their site, maybe give you a discount when you bought one, something like that. So, as I said, that's my final report on the St. Croix Tactical SC frame. Good shooting pistol, functions well, just not that much carry support as of yet. Okay, let's do quickly our nerd review. Aliens, zombies, robots. What can this defeat? Okay, so let's go through this quickly. We'll start with robots. It's 9mm, so pretty much standard stuff there. I think as far as if you're carrying round ball, I think you're probably okay. Something like that, you're probably fine with round ball. If you're using hollow points and you come upon robots, I think I would carry another mag full of round ball, because hollow points, if you're hitting, now the plastic isn't probably going to give you any problem, but you are probably going to have some sort of at least weak steel housing. Not that that's going to prevent penetration, but it is going to prematurely flour your rounds, and I don't know if they're going to penetrate well after that. So I think for robots, round ball is okay. Hollow points is, I would say, mixed. And if we ever get a chance, we'll test some of that out. Okay, let's move on to zombies.
I'll get 3.
Zombies, I would say, I think you're okay. Either or. I think any kind of ammunition coming out of this, I think you're fine. I think round count with 10 rounds, I think that's a little limiting. So I would regulate this as to pretty much just a sidearm. However, as I said, that's going to be a problem because there's not much holster support. So if you're on the run from zombies, I don't know how you're going to carry this thing. You're going to have to carry it in your pocket or back pocket or something like that. But if you do need a sidearm and you can find a way to carry it, I think this will be just fine against zombies. Again, with zombies, keep in mind you want to try to keep 2 headshots if possible. All right, next and final is aliens. Aliens, I think I'll say similar to zombies. I think if you're going lizard aliens, I think you're fine either or. I think hollow points or round ball, I think you're fine. With aliens, you should have no problem with that. If you get into insectoid aliens with hardened carapace, I would say you might want to probably go with round ball and lay off the hollow points. Same reasoning. with that little bit of armor, you could prematurely flower, and you might not be able to, you might have a harder time. I don't think you'd have I don't think the problem would be as bad as it would be with robots. I think, even the insectoid aliens, they're still flesh and blood. Depending on how hard their outer carapace is, that's going to depend on that. But I think you're pretty much okay either way with this one. Same problem goes though. If you can't find a way to carry this, I don't know. I don't know how much good it'll be. And if you're on the run in some sort of apocalypse scenario, being chased by aliens, then that's going to kind of make it hard. But this would, if you can find a way to do it, this would make a fine sidearm for battling aliens. So that is my report. Aliens, zombies, I think you're fine. Robots, generally okay, but if they do have some steel housing, I would probably lay off the hollow points. Okay, folks, that is my report. That is your nerd report on the SCT SC Glock clone. On your way out, if you would leave a like, share, and if you would subscribe, that would be awesome. And don't forget to fire off a round at that bell notification. And if you feel you have been entertained, are you not entertained? Consider please giving us a super thanks, and consider also joining our membership, where you will find all sorts of tips, tricks, and strategies on fighting through the apocalypse of zombies, aliens, and robots. Thank you, folks. This has been Tac Nerd, your friend in the apocalypse, and I am out of here.